Hello everyone, and welcome to another review. Today we're going to go ahead and review a fragrance from the House of Creed. The fragrance is known as Spice and Wood. Now, here is the presentation and the bottle of it. Spice and Wood, as you can see, it comes in this pretty big box. It's very well crafted, very well designed. It's got Creed all over the sides. It's raised. It says Spice and Wood, Royal Exclusives right there. It's got the bottom. Let's see, you pop this off, and it pretty much reveals the fragrance. If you ever buy one of these flacons, please be careful, because when you pop it off, it might be kind of flimsy down here, and you might actually spill it out and have it fall down. But bottle design is much like many other flacons. It's really well designed. It says Spice and Wood on the front of it. Now, Spice and Wood is a little bit different from most of the other Creed flacons in that it comes with a sprayer. So you don't really have to go out and decant it. I would still recommend you decant it if you want to take it around, but still, you actually have a sprayer option so you don't have to decant it. Unlike my Jardin Amalfi, if you've seen that one, you need to decant it, otherwise you gotta use it as a splash. And using a 250 milliliter cologne bottle as a splash, probably not the best idea. But either way, this is the bottle. This is designed extremely beautiful. I love it. The fragrance was released in the year 2010. It is inspired by the story of Cleopatra and Mark Antony. So that's kind of the background for this, right? The prices for this fragrance, it comes in two main sizes, right? The two main sizes that this comes in are 250 milliliter and 30 milliliter. This is the 250 milliliter, and it's going to run you $710 retail, whereas the 30 milliliter is going to run you $235 retail. So as you can see, if you can afford it or if you can get it on a split, it's much better off that you just go ahead and jump in on this one. You're going to get far more for your buck. You're going to get far more value on it. It's pretty simple. But either way, outside of that, there were supposedly only 500 bottles, or roughly around 500 bottles of this made. I don't know the validity of that. I don't know if that still holds true and if more bottles have actually been released for this, but that's what is supposedly said of this. All right, so Spice and Wood. With that, let's go ahead and get right into the notes of this fragrance. The notes of this fragrance consist of, at our top, we've got bergamot, lemon, and apple. For our mid, we have birch, patchouli, angelica, clove, and pepper. And for our base, we have musk, iris, oak moss, and cedar. So right off the bat, when you smell this fragrance, what do you get? You get spices and you get wood. Spice and wood. The name is aptly suited, and it's pretty interesting to actually smell it the first time. When you smell it the first time, at least when I smelled it, I was like, yeah, that's spices and that's wood. Spice and wood. Makes sense. Beyond that, once you actually start to dive in it a little bit deeper, you get a light apple scent, I would say. It's a very light apple scent. It's not the same apple scent that you're going to get from a fragrance like Aventus, for that matter, but it's still going to be an apple, a dry apple, if you will. And the fragrance overall is an extremely dry fragrance. It's a fragrance that, for lack of better words, doesn't feel like it has that much moisture on it. It almost kind of feels like you're spraying the essence of a desert on you. Even though this fragrance doesn't remind you of the desert, it still kind of feels like that essence. It's very dry, is what I'm trying to get at. Now, it's also fresh and it's also elegant at the same time. It retains this kind of freshness, especially when you first spray it on for the first hour. It is extremely fresh and dry at the same time. It retains kind of like an elegance to it. It's a very elegant scent, and a lot of people, when they smell this, one of the first things that they think of is quality, because it exudes quality and it exudes a certain, I guess you could say, high caliber type of a fragrance. It definitely doesn't smell like your original drugstore type of a fragrance, and most people can instantly tell the difference that they're smelling something that is high class and high quality. This I actually featured on my very first episode of the Fragrance League, and I had reviewers smell it, and all three of them who smelled this fragrance were able to pick out, without knowing what the fragrance was, were able to pick out instantly at the very least that, hey, and by the way, they don't own this fragrance, that, hey, this is a high quality fragrance. At the very least, I'm guessing that this is high, this is high class and this is expensive, basically. So you can smell the difference for this fragrance in the quality. So it's not to say like you're buying a fragrance and you're not getting any quality from it. Far from it. You're purchasing quality from it. There is no disputing that. All right. It has a smoky feel to it. It's the smoky feel I tend to suspect comes more from the dryness than anything else. And that may be doubling as the smoky type of a scent that's coming from it. And one of the final things that I have for this was there are elements of other creeds in this fragrance. And by elements of other creeds, I mean it has the dryness of it kind of reminds me of Royal Oud for it. Whereas the apple type of a vibe sort of reminds me of the way that the fruits were kind of introduced into Aventus. What's another good comparison? It kind of has, I don't want to say it has a salty type of a vibe, but there's something in it that kind of reminds me of Millésime Imperial as well too. So it's got a couple of vibes that are exuding from this fragrance, and that's something that you should actually keep in mind. Now, compliment-wise, this fragrance does get compliments. I will say though, it's only in the first 2 hours, which brings me to the performance of the fragrance. The performance of the fragrance is probably the biggest downfall for this. I can spray it on myself, and for a good 2 hours is when this is projecting really well. The sillage isn't so good. It's projecting really well. Sillage not so good. But after about 2 hours, it starts to die down more towards a personal scent. It's not completely a skin scent, but it's more of a personal scent. It's your own particular aura. Not many people are going to be around you and smell you unless they're up really close to you. So that's a bit of a downfall for this one. So about 2 hours, I would say, and then and that lasts up to about 6 to 8 hours when it finally just disappears all outright. So this isn't, at least for me, this is, I guess, on the lower end for performance for Creed fragrances. This, for me, lasts about the same amount as like Millésime Imperial does. I know Millésime Imperial gets terrible performance for some people, but that's about what Millésime Imperial lasts for me. Like 2 hours going strong, and then about, a medium to weak for about another 6 hours. That's kind of what I get from MI, and that's also what I get from Spice and Wood, right? Now, for the occasion and the month of the year is really where this shines. This is a highly versatile fragrance, and this is one of the most versatile, if not the most versatile fragrance, I think, in the Creed line, and I'll get to that in a little bit. The only fragrance that rivals this, and is possibly more, I would probably oscillate on days, which one I think would be more versatile, would be Aventus. These two, this is right up there in terms of versatility. Now, you can wear it pretty much any occasion. Date-wise, as a signature scent, at any time. You can wear it going to work, you can wear it going to play, you name it, you can wear it. Month of the year, it's light enough to be worn in the summer, and it's heavy enough, and it's got a sharpness to it that makes it well suited for the winter as well too. Now, it's not going to scream out in the winter, I'm not saying that, but this is definitely one that you can wear in the winter as well, and I have been wearing it in the winter and has been doing its job in the winter, right? So, age group wise, it does have a little bit of a mature vibe that I kind of associate with a Royal Oud type of a fragrance. So for that reason, I would say that unless you're out of high school or college, sorry, not high school, college. Unless you're out of college, this probably won't be the best fit for you. Try them all. Doesn't matter what I say. Feel free to try it all if you're one of the younger people. Go nuts. Now, as for a rating, I give this fragrance a rating of an 8 out of 10. I give Spice and Wood an 8 out of 10 with a caveat. The biggest caveat for this fragrance, and the reason why I don't give it a higher mark, is the price. Is it worth it is the first question that people are going to ask me. And despite the fact that I like it, despite the fact that I put it up there in my Fabulous 5 of Creed fragrances. Fabulous 5 of Creed fragrances that I like. We've got, Virgin Island Water. We've got Millésime Imperial I like. We've got Aventus. We've got Green Irish Tweed. And we've got Royal Oud. Those are, to me, the 5 best. I still like a lot of other Creeds outside of that. But to me, those are my 5 best Creeds. And this is in the 5 best. Spice and wood goes with it. But despite the fact that it is in the 5 best, the other creeds are still expensive, they make this look affordable, basically, in the price structure. If this was for the same amount and the same price, I would probably give this, if this was the same price, I mean, as the other creeds, I would easily give this fragrance a 10 out of 10. But it's not. So I can't, in good faith, give it a 10 out of 10, even though that I think it's a fantastic fragrance. Now, going on to the versatility, another thing maybe that problem people may have with this particular fragrance is the longevity of this fragrance and the performance. And I think, yes, that is a problem if you're looking for a fragrance that is a heavy hitter, that is going to be one that's going to go nuts, basically, on people. This is not going to be that fragrance. And it's actually for that reason that I actually like it. This is a good fragrance, a highly versatile fragrance, if you're looking to wear it around people who don't like cologne or who don't like fragrance. And that's why I'm giving it its mark, and still it gets good marks and doesn't lose further marks for not having a super projection for it. This is a more subtle fragrance. It's a more fragrance that sits back and it leans on you, and it's something that you don't scream and shout. That's part of this fragrance's aura. It's not a sign of cheapness. A lot of people associate a fragrance just because it doesn't last a long time that, oh, it must not be high quality or it must not be cheap. This couldn't be further from the truth. Fragrances suit a different purpose, or fragrances each have different purposes, and this is one that feels like it's supposed to sit on you more. Now, a lot of people may disagree with me, and that's perfectly fine. We've all got our opinions for it, but that's what I believe in this, and that's why I didn't completely take away marks for the performance of this fragrance. So it gets an 8 out of 10 and a 6 with it. Is it worth it? It's going to have to be on you. I personally wouldn't purchase it outside of the fact I actually got this half off, basically. I have a friend who works at a department store, at one of the high-end department stores, and they were able to actually get this for me for half off, and that's how I got Jardin Amalfi as well for half off. So basically I paid about $700 for the both of these. It's what I spend my money on. So sad, so sad. Either way, so that's what my opinion is. You're going to have to come to your own conclusion if it's actually worth it. But I would say try it out. Go in on the split if you can for it. All right? So if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free. Leave me a message down below. Let me know. Thank you. Take care of yourselves and have a great day.